All right, folks, welcome back to the C Morning Show. And now we are going to talk about something new.
It's absolutely new. I've never heard of this before, so that's why I'm so keen to find out.
Yes, we'll be talking about lifestyle intelligence, or LQ. But first, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard the term wellness? Of course.
Yeah, it's almost like a hashtag, right?
I know.
Hashtag wellness.
Hashtag
yes.
wellness, of course. Well, it refers to complete health in terms of the mind, heart, and also fitness. All three is important. By definition, wellness is well-being, which includes mental, emotional, physical, work, intellectual, and also spiritual aspects of a person in their life.
Yep.
Now, in this case, every aspect of health can affect the overall quality of life. Is that true, Mercer?
Yes, exactly. So according to a clinical psychologist in New York City, Lloyd Glauberman, PhD, a lifestyle that takes wellness into account has not been implemented effectively, this is according to him, and that wellness can do a very good job in defining the core of health, namely three things. Three. Eating, sleeping, and physical activity. However, there's still a lack of understanding, it seems, in society that a lifestyle is not a collection of individual behaviors, but it is what he says, in quote, intelligence in itself with a very important ecosystem. You see, it's like, I'm already thinking like, ooh, I want to know this more.
Now, therefore, Glauberman introduced lifestyle intelligence, or LQ, which provides a scientifically based ecosystem approach. Now, to controlling important aspects of life. Now, this offers a framework for understanding how we regulate eating, sleeping, and also physical activity. He also mentioned that it is very important to reflect on how many people are starting to lose ways to manage eating, sleeping, and also exercising well.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So to find out more, or help us find out more about this new lifestyle intelligence, we are now in the studio with Maizan Dianati. She's a health practitioner and also a researcher and also a CBT expert, actually. Good morning, Maizan.
Morning.
Always a pleasure to have you here.
It's always a pleasure for me as well to be here.
Yes. We are so curious about this new thing.
Yeah.
What is lifestyle intelligence exactly?
So it's actually quite a new term, right? Like it's just created in 2017 by Dr. Glauberman. So the main concept is that three of our basic elements of living, which are eating, sleeping, and exercising, would contribute a lot to our overall wellness or quality of life.
Yes.
So that's why Dr. Glauberman made this app as well for a
LQ.
person. Yeah, like the
I
LQ.
downloaded it.
Oh, you downloaded it?
Well, I mean, just this morning because I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying.
So it's like so to keep track of over these three essential needs, right? Because sometimes people would have those signals. Like we have the signals for hunger, for pain, for tiredness, but sometimes like our social environment would prevent us to keep like a good tap on it. So that's why we need to prioritize these things in order to achieve like overall happiness for us.
Overall happiness.
So is the app like a digital diary then? I mean, I'm just trying to figure out, because the term is new, because of the lack of knowledge that I have right now, it appears to be like, don't we know this already? About like that we have to take care of our sleeping and eating and also physical exercise, so there's nothing really new. What do you think? Because I don't know much about it, or I don't know anything about it at all.
Because most of the people would already knew about this, but sometimes, again, like due to the circumstances, they forget to prioritize these things, right? Like they would see it as something that's habitual. So we know that, okay, like we need sleep, we need to eat, but we forget like the essentials or the importance of the activities itself. So maybe by keeping track on it or build up like more awareness why we need to prioritize these basic needs, like it would be needed like for people to achieve again like the whole levels of the wellness itself.
Yes.
So, we could say that Mr. Glauberman himself, he's trying to emphasize it. He's trying to
create a structure.
Create a structure
type
for it,
thing.
right? So before that, people already knew that we have this basic needs that we need to take care of. You know, the three main things. But he just create the new term for us. You know, we could easily remember. It can reflect to. every day.
It's like a digital diary.
Yeah, like-
Is it as simple as that?
Yeah, it can
It's like a
be
digital
like
diary.
that.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk into more details now. What's the main reason if someone can't control their own LQ? I mean, a lot of people are not still doing that right now.
So there are possible causes for it. Like first of all, the cultural factors. So for example, imagine people who are growing up in a society where physical exercises or eating well, they are not deemed as something that are important. Yeah. I believe like these people would also have the tendencies to ignore, like to involve themselves regularly in these types of activities. So that's why, like the quality of life would be reduced because of it. And another thing, emotional aspects. So people who already have higher tendencies to have anxieties, to have stress, if they are not able to manage these conditions, they would have the difficulties to take care of themselves. So that's why these people would need some more like boost of like motivations in order to manage their to manage their lifestyle intelligence itself.
Yeah, lifestyle intelligence. Gosh, I had a question earlier and suddenly it's like,
No, it's all good. Well, I mean, the main thing is being aware first, right? We have to know where ourselves are at, to enhance these quality of life.
Yeah.
Those three aspects. So the next question will be, what should we do if we want to peen our LQ? We want to, enhance it.
So since it's relating to changing a habit, right? Like, so the first thing that needs to be done is being aware. So what types of things that are lacking in our three basic needs. So if try to reflect on it, like whether we are already have like a good quality of sleep, whether we are already eat healthily, whether we are already exercising enough. So if we found that we are lacking in something, try to find the reason. So why do we need to improve these things? Use it as the aims of the change and try to be consistent relating to the action. So in theory, if you are being consistent about some changes for more than 14 days, it would start to be absorbed as
14
your
days.
healthy habits.
That's the mark.
Yeah. That's why it's important for this first few weeks to be consistent in it.
To do that. Because some people say 14 days, right? And then back then, some people, it takes 21 days.
Yeah.
And then recently I read also a book by Gretchen Rubin where she quoted a study that actually it takes probably more than 21 days, 60-something days would just cement that new habit as well.
Just put it in there.
Yeah.
Planted it in there for more than 2 months.
Yeah, well, I guess.
right.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Wow, this is
Okay.
really interesting. I mean, basically, when we should start learning first about LQ. I mean, this is rather new, right?
Yeah, this is rather new, but since it's again relating to habitual stuff, right? And it's like a healthy types of habits that actually like we need it for our daily functioning. So it would be even better to start it early, so even during the childhood time. So maybe since now the theory is here, it is important for parents to raise awareness or maybe transfer this knowledge to the kids to make sure that their children are having an optimal time to have physical activities, to sleep well, and also like to eat properly, right?
Yes.
To grow as well.
Yeah, that's correct. And sometimes our body, well, not sometimes, our body is very intelligent already, actually. But oftentimes, we tend to overlook the signs and symptoms, right? When we've been eating, for example, not so well for years. We don't know when our body is giving our signs, hey, you need to change your habit right now, you need to change how you eat. How do we raise more awareness so that, for example, people who overwork, sometimes they're addicted, but it's actually not very good for their health. Some people who don't eat well. How do we hone the skill to make us more aware of our body, actually, and our health in general?
Yeah, so first of all, we need to have, we need to do the daily observations, right? So let's say maybe the benefits of having this app, for example, like we know, right? Like whether our sleeping hours are already good enough, like the quality of sleep is already good enough, whether the things that we eat, because if we are it's called logging something like on the app, sometimes we would be more mindful, right? Like, okay, like we are eating healthily or not. So that's why keeping track on it every day would be great. And also maybe it's not only about physical things, so keep track on your emotions as well. So let's say if you are already a bit more irritated compared to usual, like small things frustrate you, it's easy for you to get upset over something that's not very significant. Maybe it's also like a sign that you're not taking care of yourself that much.
Or probably you're undergoing PMS, right?
Yeah, for
like
sure.
one of those apps, right? Every time I look at my calendar, it's like, oh, why do I feel like crying today? Okay, I get it. So you feel less bad about yourself when you're a total mess, you know?
I don't have that excuse for that.
No, you don't. You don't have that excuse. Anyways, yes. Oh, this is interesting. Can LQ is lifestyle intelligence. Can LQ work? How does LQ work with EQ and IQ? Is there any connection?
Yeah, like even though it seems to be very separated, but there are like a close connection between the three of this. So maybe we can take a look at an example. So for example, people who have sleep deprivation or insomnia, yeah? So it means like they are, in terms of LQ, like they are not sleeping enough. And it would disrupt the emotional intelligence where maybe for a short period, they would be again like more frustrated, more irritated over something, and these things would cause the cognitive abilities to be disrupted as well. So maybe brain fog, inability to think clearly, like make a decision, things like that, like would be disrupted too. So that's why like the connection is there. But if it continuously like that, the emotional parts would also cause disruptions to all of these things, right? Like so maybe it would cause the cognitive things to build up like intrusive thoughts, such as like, oh no, like I won't be able to sleep again tonight. Like everything would be useless. The next day I would feel tired again. So it would even create more stress that prevents you to go to sleep, right?
Yes.
So yeah, like they
It's
are
a vicious cycle.
Very connected.
Have you watched the movie Inside Out 2? It's out in theaters now.
Yes, I need to watch it again because I only saw the beginning for 10 minutes because I got really, really tired, by the way, Marzan. Really, really tired. So I slept throughout the movie and I only saw the end. So I need to watch it again.
Yeah, you need to watch it again.
Yes.
I think it gives us an
insight.
Kind of perfect example of how the mind is going.
It's really nice depiction of emotions.
Exactly,
Right?
not just for kids, even for adults. I mean,
absolutely.
relate to that. So yeah, if you're wondering, how does the mind work? I mean, for me who loves cartoons, I mean that movie gave me a perfect example of also a representative of how our mind and body works.
Yeah. That's absolutely true, and I can so relate, especially in the sleeping part, right? Eating, sleeping, and also physical activity. When I don't get enough sleep, when I'm absolutely tired, suddenly I lose the ability to think or even to speak.
Speech slurs sometimes happen, right?
Correct, and then choosing the wrong words. And that's why mind-body connection is a real thing, and you know, it's like we have to take care of both.
It's really important for us because we have to wake up early in the morning, right?
Yep.
And if we have lack of sleep, you know, we're reading prompters right now. Sometimes it gets blurry. So that's really important.
Yeah. Is there anything else that we haven't asked you that you think that our audience need to know?
Okay, so maybe that like since this thing is new, so it's still developing, but at least like we can use it as a guidance that, you know, like even though these three things seems to be very, very what's called basic, we shouldn't forget about the importance of like having enough sleep, having enough exercise, and eating healthily, right? So, because without this, even though you are good in terms of your social abilities, your intelligence abilities, but you wouldn't get like the best version of yourself while you are neglecting this.
Yes, that's correct.
Basic foundations.
And I've actually downloaded the Lifestyle Intelligence app, or the LQ app, but I haven't signed up yet because I'm really curious, and I completely agree with you. Sometimes there's this benefit of, you know, like logging things in so we know exactly our progress. My husband actually has this like a Fitbit type thing, but not really Fitbit, but with the same system. And he finds it super useful because, oh, today I've walked however many steps, you know, it's like, oh, today I've reached this and that. And it motivates him. So I guess, why not LQ? Right?
Why not? And it's nice to keep track.
Yes. All righty. Well, thank you so much, Maizen.
You're welcome.
Thank you so very much. Always nice having you here on the show. We hope to see you again next time.
Yes, see you again.
More new interesting topics.
Yeah, for sure.
Talk about the human brains and emotions. All right, and now we are set for a commercial break. But when we return, I'll bring you the world headlines here on See Today.
Yes. Thank you so much,
Thank you
Maizen.
very much.